was watching the Show Me Baby channel. One of my favorites. It's basically it. Yeah, it. It's a guy that he's part of the open carry movement, and he's done some sort of political journalism or citizen journalism in the political sort of sphere for years, and he basically just he dumps intel that he gets. You know, usually he's not really super specific, but it's a good way to just get a little bit of an understanding of what's happening. Sometimes, you know, you look at things and you're like, what does this all mean? And he's really good at putting that together. He was an inspiration to me too, as far as being, you know, a video maker, because he would just, he showed me you could be entertaining and just pick up your phone and go. And so it inspired me to kind of do it. I don't know if I got the entertaining part down yet, but yeah, I'm like, so he's like the Ramones in that way. Very low, no production value, and just a guy talking, which appealed to me. But he was mentioning the Lizard Queen thing. Now that she's dead, it's supposed to signal a bunch of other stuff, like as far as super secret squirrel stuff. And he was kind of saying, I think, that there's this idea that she's actually been dead for a few years, and they had to wait to say anything because I guess when she dies, there's supposed to be some massive power shift, or something was in place that would change if she was to die. And they didn't have their ducks in a row at that time a couple years ago. And that it's possible this whole cold thing was thrown up there to buy time. You know, among other things, it was something, of course, they were working on, but it could have been a situation where, like, what the fuck are we gonna do? Hey, Bill, how's all that MNRA testing thing going? You guys still working on that? Yeah. All right, well, we're gonna have a trial. Oh, really? How? We're just gonna roll it out in the public and see what happens. Oh, okay, you're up, Bill. You know what I mean? And then it was Dr. Bill Gates' turn. So that's an interesting idea. I mean, I don't know. I'm not all that well read about the whole Queen thing and how she's integrated with. I know she's a large figure, important figure in the cult, that the Moloch cult. That's the Western. I think she's Moloch cult. There's like 3 factions here, 3 major cults that run the world. The one we deal with in the West here, and the one we're under the yoke of, is the Moloch cult. That's the you know, the kid eaters, the kid rapers. And then there's 2 other kinds of cults that run, you know, different parts of the world. There's one for the East Asian countries. They had a big problem like 5 years ago where one of their leaders got busted doing some cult type stuff, and it was big news, which is, I mean, that's intentional. I guess they wanted it out there for some reason. I think they're just trying to get rid of her, but the fact that they put the light on that cult, I thought was kind of strange, you know, and because they, you know, you would think they'd want to keep that stuff hidden. So there's mechanisms at play that a lot of us just can't understand why they do the things they do. But yeah, they have their own sort of cult, and the Queen was part of the Moloch one, which is, you know, what the U.S. deals with. So I guess when her power, when she died, there's some sort of power vacuum that needs to be filled. And with that switchover, there's a large wealth transfer you know, which this country, the U.S. itself, just went under a large wealth transfer, closing down all these small businesses and transferring any money they would have made to larger corporate interests. Like, I mean, just think about when the lockdowns happened, the only things that were open, but the only things that were open were places like Walmart and McDonald's, you know, while everything else was closed. And they were the only places open. So what that does is it transfers wealth from smaller businesses, and it's obvious what it does. I think I don't have to go into it. But so in the same way, this is some kind of wealth transfer thing where a lot of power is being moved from one place to another, and it's really significant. And the idea is that they weren't prepared to make that shift when she was rumored to have actually died a few years ago. And there's a lot of evidence that backs this up. You know, photography means nothing. You know, there's a picture of her, and yeah, whatever. You know, I mean, none of that stuff matters. But they needed a distraction. They needed, I guess, 2 years to give them 2 years to get their stuff lined up in order to make this big shift. What the big shift is, how it affects us, I don't know. You know, it remains to be seen. You know, I mean, I'm sure there are guys that do know. I'm sure he knows quite a bit more about it, but he's kind of careful with how he puts out his information. I know there's alphabet people watching him. Does he glow? I don't know. He's not a big channel. Who knows? You don't really have to be big to get the Eye of Sauron on you. You know, it doesn't matter how many people are watching you. It only takes the wrong one. But I don't know if she's got enough people for them to bother messing with him. Do you know what I mean? Like, they look for people that, well, they don't have to look for people, as we talked about the other day. Well, I did, and you know, they make their own people. A lot of these guys that have the big sub counts are their people, and they're in every kind of genre. So they don't have to. No one's rolling the dice from their end. Like, YouTuber is some kind of autonomous thing separate from them that they're like, yeah, how are we gonna crack that? They own it. I mean, they own all that stuff. So it's just a matter of placing their guys in there, or what the Beast also does. If it doesn't make things whole cloth, and you see this in the music business a lot, is they will go to someone that already has something going on, and they'll put them under their wing. You know, that's how that works a lot of times, you know. I mean, if they don't make them whole cloth themselves, they'll take someone under their wing. So it's very much possible. Is that right? It's very possible that someone could be, you know, doing well on their own, gaining some kind of traction, and they decide they're going to take them and use them, or you know, take them under the wing. So that happens too. But yeah, just interesting stuff about the Queen. Check out his channel; it's good. You know, whether or not he goes or whatever, I don't know. I get some good stuff out of there. I'm usually not all that interested in the political type stuff. I'm more interested in the metaphysical fallout of these things, which is usually equal to or more than the things that physically happen here. I get a real dark vibe from all these pictures in here. I was here the other day looking at them. Yeah, very almost like stuff I have in my house. But yeah, we'll have to see. I don't know. She was kind of a linchpin in a larger situation. from what I understand. I think that goes without saying. I mean, I think that's pretty obvious, but just how important she was and what she was keeping in check. So other people have said that she was some kind of governor on how much her group or her cult could do or were able to do. And like always, usually, like universally, they need you to do it to yourself. You know, they can't just do it to you. It's they're constantly telling you there's a bug on your face, so you hit yourself. You know, they can't just roll over you. So I think the thinking or the idea here is that with her death, the gloves are off and they can roll over you. But I don't know how that works karmically. I don't know if they can do that. I don't even know what that ultimately means. But it's supposed to make for a harsher environment. I don't know, we'll see. At least that's one lizard that's not going to be eating kids anymore. Hopefully. I mean, I don't know. It's probably cloned. Well, at least not at the moment. She's not eating kids. Don't blame the teacher. Blame the school.